I did it. I did it, and it worked. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. I've been stressing about that all day. Wow. So already got a couple people in the chat. Let's see. G, what's up? Matt Warner. Whoo, what's up? Us. Hey, us. So we got a packed house today. We have Robo and Ree. We also have Leslie Julian, Doug Wood, and Brian Flint, and this is the creative team behind Savage Wizard. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so it's another Live from the Apocalypse. Oh, by the way, what's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? So Danny is bringing up my shirt, and I wasn't gonna make a big deal about it. I really wasn't, but since Danny felt the need to mention it,
he's a dick. House.
I am, in fact, repping Jack of Hearts today. This is a brand new shirt, and I think it was last week we declared National Jack of Hearts Day. So, yeah.
So I love the shirt, right?
It's right there. It's right there.
I hate to be, but the door's missing. So now it's just a dick arrow. But
Wait,
there's
wait,
no
wait.
door, so we can't see the dick house.
Hold on a second. It's covered by the fabric of his.
Yeah, the flip. Yeah.
Yeah, the flip. It's right there. Okay.
I know it's there. You know it.
Yes. Well, that's
all right.
cool.
Let's unenlarge me. Okay, cool. Sweet. So before we even we're gonna talk about a Savage Wizard, but first let's kind of figure out what the hell everyone's doing, especially related to reading comics. I'll go ahead and start since I'm already talking, and then let's. So I made it to the LCS. I was late. I went today. I didn't get a chance to go. I didn't get a chance to go on Wednesday, so I haven't even read this stack yet. But I had to grab the new Ninjak.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah,
look at that
nice.
cover. And this is the run with Jeff Parker and Javier Pulido. And just kind of skipping through. Yep, still looks like Javier Pulido. So cool.
Beautiful.
Excited to read that.
Awesome.
And then check this out. This is gonna be one of those comics that I look at the cover many years from now and still enjoy. But this is Batman 89 with Billy D. Williams as Two-Face on the cover.
Nice.
So how dope is that?
That is pretty dope.
Hey, nice. That's looking good.
Yeah, man, I would for a Billy D. Williams Two-Face movie. Got Primordial, which I haven't read yet. All I know about it is it's Jeff Lemire, and I love everything that he does.
Yeah, it's good. You'll like it.
Wakanda: The Last Annihilation. So far, this is the second Last Annihilation book released so far. The first one was Cable, so I'm very excited to kind of continue the story and
Hell yeah.
see what's going on with that. And then check this out: Harley Quinn Kiss Eat Bang Kiss. What the fuck is this? The Eat Bang Kill Tour. Yeah, so this is the show. This is like a continuation of the show.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm jazzed for that. And then Robo got a copy of this, and I missed it, so I just wanted to be one of the cool kids. So
nice.
I got it.
1 and 2.
Oh yeah, so now I got to get 2. But yeah, that's what I got today. And then I'm currently reading the Rafer Roberts Harbinger run, and it's really, really good. And I thought I was going to hate it because I only I thought that I only like Joshua Dysart Harbinger, but I kind of like this as well. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm reading. Oh, and it's Ree's birthday on Sunday, so happy birthday, Ree.
Thanks.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday to
guys.
you.
Appreciate it.
And it's also my wife's birthday on Sunday, so it's a very special day.
Yes, happy birthday.
Nice.
Ree, what have you been reading lately?
Oh man, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to skip me because I'm going on Sunday and I'm gonna drop some hungies. I've been
Nice.
saving my dollars up and I'm gonna next week I'll show you the birthday haul.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Same.
Woo!
Same?
Yeah, I didn't go today, and today was a crazy day. But you know what? All that would happen is I'd lie about what I'm reading because I'd buy comic books, I would put them in this pile right here, and then I read something else. I'm reading Injustice. I've just finished Injustice, and I'm going to start Injustice 2.
Wait. Did you watch the cutscenes?
I didn't watch the cutscenes, and I'm actually almost done. I lied. I was hoping I wouldn't get challenged on what I said, but
I'm sorry.
I was instead of the cutscenes, what's that the series at the end of Injustice that
Ground Zero
or something like that?
Ground Zero. Yeah. It tells. Yeah.
So I'm reading that, and then I'm gonna watch the cutscenes, and then I'm gonna start Injustice 2. So, I mean, that is DC for me now.
Nice.
The team below, Savage Wizard. Are you guys so busy making this comic? Do you even have time to read comics? Are you guys reading?
A little bit. I actually just moved 2 weeks ago, so my read pile is still in boxes. I did have a little bit of time to catch up on some old Kickstarter stuff, actually. So
Nice.
I finally got to read Cold Dark Universe by Black Hole Comics, which is really awesome. Has some great stories in there. It's a nice anthology that Torin Chenault, I think his last name is, put together. It was really awesome. And also finally got to read the conclusion to Major Holmes and Watson by Jeff Ryder, which is just really awesome Sherlock Holmes stuff with an awesome twist. So that's what
Is it a
thing I've read.
Is it a timepiece or is it like Holmes in the modern day?
It is still a period piece, but it's just interesting. It's not a huge twist, but basically it's like Sherlock Holmes' nephew, and it's a different Watson. So Jeff just did an awesome job with the writing there, because I just read that and like, I want to write like this, you know.
There's a show that came, I'm not to go too off topic, but there's a show that I saw on Netflix relatively recently, and it's about Sherlock Holmes's niece.
Mm.
Do you remember what that's called?
Is there like
I think it's a movie. It's a movie
that came out. I think this movie came out like a year ago or something. I can't remember the name either, but I think
I can't remember her name.
The same thing.
But it was really good. It was really good. What was it called? Wait, sorry, hold on.
Ma, Meatloaf.
Enola Holmes.
There we go.
That's it.
Cool.
Now we know.
So, Brian, what have you been reading lately, or nerding out on, or whatever? Shows, movies, games.
I just got this.
Ooh, let's take a look at that. Let's see.
I want that.
Nice.
Ooh,
I've heard of that.
I need that.
Wow, is that a hardcover? I love
it.
Ooh, nice.
I haven't had a chance to sit down and read it yet, but I just got it.
Shelf candy.
Shelf candy. Yeah. What about you, Doug? What have you been nerding out on?
I recently picked this up from Books a Million. It's the manga god Tezuka, and it's Dororo. Sorry, I can't talk.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
About a dad who gives up his baby to like 36 different demons, so they each get like a body part, and then they give the baby up in the river, and the scientist finds them and realizes he has some kind of unique potential, and so he gives them a bunch of like grafts on a bunch of support limbs and stuff like that for them to try to get around. And he's going off after all the demons to get back like all of his organs and body parts back. It's pretty sweet.
Oh wow!
Sounds like a Build's character, you know. These kids these days, they like.
What is it called?
Dororo.
Dororo.
You know, kids these days just take having all their organs for granted. You know, it's like that's the world we're living in. You know.
Yeah, I'm writing that down. That sounds dope.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Tezuka kind of did like a lot of like young boys manga, like Astro Boy. He's really famous for that kind of stuff. So you get kind of like this kiddish feel, but it's really got some of those dark moments in it, and I don't know, it's really special, I think, from what I've read so far.
So
it looks pretty cool.
So yeah. I will say this much: how you described it. Yeah, I didn't get a kiddish feel out of that. So
but Robo, it's
body
like
parts and then putting the baby in the river, and it's kind of for kids. But maybe you'll like them. Like, what the fuck?
But it's like Inside Out. It's like Inside Out. Each body part is like a fun
an emotion. It's just like
yeah. No, probably not. So speaking of comic books, there's this comic book called Savage Wizard, and apparently the three of you are pretty intimately familiar with it. So right out, kind of like giving us the straight up elevator pitch, and whoever wants to answer, just jump on in there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your campaign?
The quick elevator pitch we like to give is basically, what if Conan the Barbarian was forced to reclass as a wizard? It's like simple.
Okay, nice.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You always know that he hated magicians and magic, so
Yep.
definitely against his type.
Yep.
This art and what you guys sent us, it gives me very strong Jack Kirby vibes. Doug, was that sort of like, was that one of your influences? Like especially like the face up close and kind of like the exaggerated movements and the very kinetic style. Is Jack Kirby?
We sandwiched writer, artist, writer. I did a little funky Oreo thing, you know.
I see. Okay.
Brian's art.
So, Brian, what were your kind of creative influences with the art style?
With this particular one, I mean, Kirby's in there forever. Like that, he's just a part of my DNA, you know, artistically. You know that James Harren Conan book that it's not super old, but you know, it was out like a year or two ago.
Wait, James Harren did a Conan book?
So
yeah.
The most contact I've had with Conan is reading Red Sonja. So yeah, that's about as Conan-y as I've gotten. Oh, and the Arnold movie. I did see the Arnold movie.
Yeah.
Which is a classic.
Yes.
I'll tell
The
you
best thing.
This is super dope. This is super dope.
Yeah.
You know, I just gotta say, and you know, no disrespect to any of our previous guests. I probably only said this maybe one other time, so now future guests know what to listen for. But every now and then you get an indie comic that's coming out on Kickstarter, and you can tell, you know, there's all varying levels of experience that come into this, and different levels of craftsmanship. And hey, people start off and it's like, okay, there's room to grow, room to polish. That's the nicest way I can say it. This shit looks pro out the gate. Like I'm like, what? Like you don't always expect stuff like this. Like what is, like, how long have you been doing art? Like where did this come from?
Well, you know, I've been drawing my whole life, but I've been doing the comic thing about 10 years. Yeah.
Wow.
That's dope.
I can't wait.
This won't be your first published work then.
Well, I've done a whole bunch of what's the word for it? My name's not on it, but someone else's name is on it.
Oh wow!
Because they took on too many jobs, and I've done a couple of those. Done my own Kickstarter, my own book.
Art assisting, yeah.
Ooh, look, we got backed right here just from.
Hell yeah! Appreciate you.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Two questions. Well, first question is, is this gonna be colored at some point, or is it gonna be black and white?
I think we'd really love to do that in a stretch goal, but right now we're probably just gonna stick with black and white. I don't know. I just really love the look of the gray tones over his like inks. They're just so powerful, and
yeah, I'm right there with you. I really dig just black and white art.
I prefer black and white comics. Yeah, I'm down. So down for that.
And kind of lends to the whole like manga feel too, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
get a lot. I like
it works for Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley and those guys. So why not?
You could say they were mildly successful with that.
Yeah, a little bit.
How did this team come together?
Go ahead, Doug. No,
I was on Discord. Yeah, I'm gonna make you. He's always so humble. All right, I was on Discord and I saw Leslie was doing mini comics. I said, "Oh man, this is so amazing!" I said, "Leslie, I just love your work. Please, can we like work together on something?" And to my happiness, he was willing to say yes, and he kind of took me under his wing and started teaching me how to write comics and stop being humble. And I really appreciated everything he's really taught me. It was awesome. We kind of really bonded together, and it just kind of came together from there. Just me being like, "Hey, I like what you were doing. let me try to work with you, please.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how you two linked up, and then how did you find Brian?
So we were all in this group called Comic Jam, kind of at different times. But when I was also in the Comic Jam was basically an online group that pairs artists and writers together every week, and then basically gives you a random prompt, and you're supposed to come up with a one-page comic at the end of the week. And
That's
so,
cool.
yeah, I was paired with a lot of different artists, and I saw Brian was in the group, and I was just never lucky enough to have his art grace any of my stories. And so when me and Doug had finished the script and we were thinking about artists, once we kind of knew what the main characters and the people were kind of going to look like, Brian's name like kind of flashed like a light bulb in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, like Brian's art would be amazing for this, because he did something a little bit similar, but tonally this is like super different.
Cool. So just between the three of you, what is kind of your history with comics, and not just creating, but also just reading and being inspired, in no particular order?
Go ahead, Leslie, you start.
Okay. For me, I kind of had like a comic or two around as a kid, but I would say actually I was drawing them myself, but didn't really have money to buy them. But it's funny, yeah, even as a kid, like my first comic I ever drew was like a Godzilla versus King Kong thing, I think in first grade. I did a bunch of like X-Men type riff hop comics, but I slowly stopped drawing and I kind of just was writing more, and I kind of took like a hiatus even from writing for a while. But in college I got super into comics like Runaways.
Nice.
Runaways especially, it was what sucked me back into comics. And also I think that was around the time IDW was putting out Ninja Turtles, and I've always been a huge Ninja Turtles fan.
Oh man, that IDW run of Turtles is chef's kiss.
So that really kind of started inspiring me, especially I think when I was reading Why Last Man. I was like, I had stories in me, like I wanted to get them out. So I kind of like figured out how to write comics, like hopping online and kind of go bouncing from different like online creative communities, like the one I mentioned earlier. And I think I was in Comics Experience for a little bit. But yeah, pretty much like I want to say college is really when I just sucking everything up. Like, it's like, yeah, it's like the best time for me, because I was just reading like all of Brian K. Vaughan stuff. And Civil War was coming out at the time. So I just really I feel like my life outside of comics sucked, and the comics were just like everything to me at the time. It was like a perfect timing, for everything creatively. And yeah, I just kind of never looked back from there.
That's awesome. Are you into Saga?
Oh, yeah, I love Saga. I want that to come back. Yeah,
please
come back. But I would say him. It's funny, him and Eastman and Laird are like probably I would say like at my origin story for comics. Like they really are there at the beginning for why I'm writing comics right now.
That's a pretty good trifecta.
Yeah.
To have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Brian, what about you? Like, where's your kind of comic book? What's your comic book story?
Well, I was that kid who was in the library a lot, reading comics in the corner because, like Leslie said, I grew up with not a lot of money either, so buying comics was kind of out of the question. So I read a whole bunch of like Calvin and Hobbes and books like that, whatever they had down there. And then once I was older and had my own money, I just bought freaking everything. You know what I mean? One guy who actually played a pretty big role in me wanting to make my own comics was Jonan Vasquez. If you ever, I don't know how popular he is as a comic book artist, but the guy who made Invader Zim and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Yeah.
And it's been a black and white book as well. So he kind of put me onto that whole black and white aesthetic.
Nice.
That's dope.
It's been a while since I've even thought about Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, but yeah, that was like that definitely brings me back.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
cool.
I did have. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Doug. Sorry. Go.
Doug. Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of comics either as a kid. I was also pretty poor growing up. I did, the occasional couple Batman comics, couple of Venom because begging my mom to pretend like he wasn't a villain because they wouldn't have been into it if he was like a bad guy that I was buying from.
Right.
And some of that stuff. So I got a couple of those and put them in the same Ziploc bag so they wouldn't get destroyed. It didn't matter. And read the covers off of them. And then after I got injured in the service, I just needed something to do for while I was rehabbing and trying to get being a shut-in. So I started picking up writing, and I was into comics, and I saw a thing on like San Diego Comic-Con like panel that like Robert Kirkman was doing. It's like, hey, try out this thing like Pencil Jack and like digital webbing, which is like these forums for like creators to come together and find out how to make comics and stuff like that. And I checked those out, and it's kind of how I started. And then it took me a while to actually, besides just writing, like learn how to like work as a team and not be like a lone wolf guy. So once I started like making friends, things started going a lot better for me. It just if you're thinking about making comics, make sure you make friends, because if you try to go alone, you're just gonna have so much trouble.
It's a very collaborative medium for sure.
Yeah. I've put out a one shot out of a company that I don't want to talk about, and I had I put together a whole anthology last year with cool creators, and that was funded through Kickstarter, and I did a whole trade on Kickstarter that just got signed to a publisher deal. So that's
That's dope. So here's a question. So as far as the inspiration for this story, clearly there's some D&D stuff going on, right, with the barbarian versus the wizard, and that being a weird combo there, and I'm sure it works. Like what else inspired this story? Like first of all, which one of you birthed this, and then, or did you guys come about it together, and then where did it come from?
I guess you could say technically I birthed it kind of around 2019. It's funny, it was Doug who tweeted something, I think, about Pitchfimber that I saw. Pitchfimber basically is supposed to come up like a log line every day during the month of November. So I saw that random tweet, and I think it's before we were even talking, and I was just coming up with random ideas like all throughout the month of November. And one of them was, what if a barbarian was forced to reclass as a wizard? And after Doug approached me randomly, we're kind of going back and forth with ideas, and then none of them were sticking. And I threw that one at him. It's like, oh my gosh, like let's work on that one. That sounds amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as influences, D&D isn't necessarily a direct one, although it's culturally, I'm sure there's definitely some subconscious stuff. But really, we're pulling from like for the body types like wrestling, and we're pulling more so from like kind of African cultures and Samoan culture, and even like a little bit of the Viking culture and stuff like that, in terms of how we were crafting like the story and like the world, pretty much.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. I'm noticing the title says Savage Wizard #1 instead of just Savage Wizard. How far does this arc go for y'all? Like, let's say this does well, which it looks like it's doing very well. Because what did you guys just start this like 3 days ago?
3 days ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it looks like you guys are doing well. How long does the arc go for you?
So we definitely didn't want to bite off more than we can chew, so we're just planning this as like a 4-issue miniseries. So we already have the second issue scripted, but yeah, we kind of have an idea of where we want this to go, and obviously there's a little wiggle room in terms of going past those 4 issues, but yeah, we had like at the very least a 4-issue miniseries planned for the beginning.
Nice. And then more from there, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. More from there, maybe, depending on how much people like it.
That's right.
Cool.
All right, cool. Hey,
what about
go ahead.
Real quick, just what about future projects? As a creative team, do you have other kind of coals in the fire, or individually, do you have other kind of comics that you have planned out from for beyond this?
Doug, you can go first.
Oh, because I have a lot. Okay, so
awesome.
I just got my right back from a company that will not be named. I got my one shot back, and so I can take that to Kickstarter and finally get a print run of that. I'm pretty happy about that. It's called Leap M. It's kind of a sci-fi tale. Prisoner gets if you go to prison, instead of going to prison, they find a way. They put you in a machine. They age you to your like sentencing date in like a couple hours. And so people are like criminals, and they're out on the street. And what happens if a guy who's like framed for murder and then he wants his life back? That type of story.
Wait, so you get aged up to how long your sentence would be, but you only serve like a very little amount of time?
Yeah, you don't actually serve. You just like you're put in the machine, and like they have like a VR setting, like make you feel like you served your whole, so they can because all the stuff that I imagined for the story, I wrote it back like way back in 2009. But as time has gone on, these things have become more of a reality. I keep seeing articles of like, hey, we're working on aging people because they were trying to find how to stop aging process. Instead, they started aging rats up older on accident, or we found a way to like put like
rats always get fucked, man.
Yeah, we figured out how to like VR like make people feel like they've been in like, because like sleep when you feel like you've slept longer than you actually have, like,
time dilation. Yeah.
That's a real technology they ever, so like these things that I was like imagining are becoming more and more real. It's weird.
That's crazy.
Real quick, what's inside the creative's brains? Like I'm sitting there like, wow, I would have never thought of that.
What's worse, like being aged up and thinking you're serving a long sentence, but coming out and it's like a day has passed, or just serving a long ass sentence and being old and the world's different?
Yeah, I think it's just different, right?
You, if you had to choose one though, let's say you had to choose, what would you pick?
I think
that one.
Yeah.
Only because of the effect on other people around me, right? So like, let's say I'm an idiot and I did something stupid that deserves jail time. My kids would only lose a day. Now I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna die earlier and all that stuff, but I think the people around me will suffer less.
People would call you old, like if you just came out, showed up to work one day like 20 years older, and you didn't remember how to do your job. I think people would just be like, "Oh, look, there's old Robo. I miss young Robo." But yeah, that is a cool idea. What about? Sorry,
I have the other. And then I also have. I'm sorry, Big Hype Volume 2. I'm working on that. It's like a 300-page anthology. We got a lot of cool people on board. Michael W. Conrad, who does like Wonder Woman, Midnighter, and other cool projects. He's writing us something for that. Leslie's back on this volume. There's just so many awesome talent that we're getting together, and it's basically just like Shonen Jump. It's just a bunch of people riffing on some ideas that are fun. Only fun stories in it, nothing sad, so you don't have to worry about that. And just fun adventures, basically. And then also In the Pale Moonlight, I think that's going to end up going to Kickstarter too. It's kind of like, what if Batman ended up in like limbo, and he's just trapped with all these other like imitator Batman, and like one of them end up murdered. So like, how does Batman solve a murder against the people that are himself, basically? Because he can't just like go around beating up like his other like criminals. Petty dudes to find answers.
Doug is an idea machine. Doug makes the best freaking comics.
That is good. That is insane. That's dope.
Definitely.
What about you got any other project for the? Oh, you had a question. Sorry, Rico.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. I don't know if this is too deep though. Like, I wanted to go from bottom to top. So like Brian, Doug, Leslie, if you could change one thing about the comics industry, what would you change?
Ooh.
Deep, hard questions, hard hitting. Where did you think about this story? Where did you make it up? He's like talking about the industry.
You can say like, I do respond to like, shut up, Ree. That's an acceptable answer back. Brian, do you want to kick us off?
That's a big question.
All right. No pressure. No pressure.
I guess if I could change one thing, it would be cool to see more interplay between like different characters and different, I don't know what you call them, the big companies and all those,
like crossovers,
giving smaller guys a chance to do bigger books, or use bigger characters a little more freely.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's dope.
Nice.
Definitely could. Cool.
Mine's gonna be a little bit more creator oriented, I guess. I wish there was more low tier publishers for people getting their start. I feel like a lot of people don't get their chance to make us, them get a chance, and that sucks. And so I just wish there was a few more entry level like places to try out stuff and learn the ropes and figure out your voice before you're,
But not piece of shit publishers like the ones who shall not be named.
Yeah, that was part of the.
Yeah, makes sense.
Nice, nicely said.
Cool. And then Brian
or Leslie.
I guess for me, I kind of wish the industry wasn't the way it was. I feel it's kind of changing the way, especially writers, maybe artists, to operate in terms of. A lot of people focus more so on shorter stories, miniseries now, just because it's tougher to either sustain an audience or because it's just so expensive to make comics. I wish that people have more space for those long form stories. You don't get as much of that now, so I wish there was a way to fix that. But yeah, I miss those long, epic stories being told. There's kids just seems like there's fewer and fewer of those these days.
Good answers.
Nice.
Hey,
nice.
I'm gonna play this video, and tell me, just somebody stop me if the sound doesn't come through. I don't know if I get it.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking slaps.
I'm so moist right now. That soundtrack reminds me of this band called The Who. The Who, HU. They're like a Mongolian like metal band. They're really fucking awesome.
Check them out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but that's
back in. I was gonna do it online, and I'm like, I think it's gonna show my address. I don't want to dox myself. But
again.
Yeah. Now I have a new address. Just kidding. The other one's so good.
That trailer gets me hyped though. That was badass.
Yeah.
This is a badass comic book. I'm definitely this when the stream is over. And it sounds like some people in the chat are also going to be backing it. But if you have not backed it yet, the link is in the chat. Aramis dropped it.
Thank you, Aramis.
You got to scroll up a little bit. You got to scroll up. There it is. Scroll back to 8:28 p.m. If you're in the Southwest and whatever the equivalent is wherever you're from. But there it is. Definitely back this. This is badass. And yeah, dude. We'll remind everyone again at the end of this live stream. But want to thanks to you guys for just kind of coming here and telling us about it. Pretty dope. We'd like you to we're going to get into the news. We'd love it if you guys would stick around and just kind of be part of the panel with us.
Well, not we also I know we only asked Leslie. Leslie, you're down. Do you two have time, or do you guys got to go? If you got to go, no big deal. I know it's late. We're just going to talk about news headlines and stuff. If you got to bug out, we will say adieu, and that's okay.
Yeah, I got 4 kids to get to bed.
No worries. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks
Brian.
for being here. Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Play, Brian.
For sure.
Cool.
Peace.
Cool. All right. Well, now things are going to get weird. Real weird. Just kidding. All
right. So, what do you guys really think about Brian? No, just kidding.
Show all of his talent very soon.
So does anybody here remember the Clone Saga, the Spider-Man Clone Saga?
No.
Yeah, I heard
of it.
So J.M. DeMatteis is returning to Marvel to write a Ben Reilly Spider-Man series, and it's basically going to tell like the untold adventures of Ben Reilly's time as Spider-Man. And even though I didn't really particularly love, I don't really like clones of Spider-Man in general. I'm excited just to see J.M. DeMatteis write more Spider stuff. Any strong opinions on that?
That's cool. No. What is so for those like not me, because I read everything. But like what makes Ben Reilly, like, is he one of the clones, or
he's a clone of Peter Parker, but he's more of like a Stone Cold badass, I guess.
he's not the one that had the blue like hoodie vest thing?
Yeah.
Is that him? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that. Yeah.
And some people apparently really, really like Ben Reilly. Like G Money loves Ben Reilly. And I'm mostly ambivalent towards Ben Reilly, but I'm not against Ben Reilly. And then, Danny's like, who doesn't remember the Clone Saga? It lasted all the 90s. That's true. What's interesting is, so the Clone Saga was this big bloated event that they dragged on forever, kind of like Age of Apocalypse, where it just didn't end. But they released this new like mini series called The Real Clone Saga, a really condensed version of the Clone Saga.
Oh, I didn't know.
So if you ever want to read it in an evening instead of over the course of like 7 months, then check that out. Apparently editorial like forced them to just drag it out forever, which seems to happen to a lot of the larger blown out crossover events.
I have very many comics, like I said, but Spider-Man featuring Ben Reilly was one. And I was like, who's this blonde-haired dude, and where's Peter Parker at? And because I'd seen the cartoon, at that point, and I had seen him in like the Venom comics, but all of a sudden, like this Ben Reilly guy was here, and I was like, what's going on? And he's fighting Mysterio. Okay, fine, cool. Mysterio seems like a cool bad guy. Figure it out. So, I mean, I kind of have like a affection for him, I guess, because of that. The other clones are kind of hit or miss. You got Kane, you got some of the others that are there.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I like Miles Morales and I like Peter Parker. And as far as I'm concerned, that's like enough Spider-Man. Like, I don't feel like I need more Spider-Man than those two.
Yeah.
Like it gets a little crazy with the Spider-Man.
Take it easy.
Are you okay with the variants of Spider-Man, though? Are you okay with other multiverse versions of Spider-Man, though?
In a single event, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like with the Spider-Verse. Like I think it's fun to see an event that features a bunch of Spider-Man from different dimensions, but I just don't really have like the for those to follow those Spider people. You know what I mean? Like I love Miles Morales because he's like a very distinctly different character. But like that's like a rare circumstance where I like other Spider-Man. Most of the time it's like, all right, enough of the Spider-Man. Just my opinion, though. I mean, like, I know a lot of people love the spider
totem stuff.
The spider totem stuff, yeah.
I like Spider-Man 2099. I guess I like him too. Rick Lenardi's art was just so amazing for that I just like really fell in love. I felt like he was different, but maybe because he wasn't just a little white guy character either.
Yeah.
True.
I do kind of like Spider-Man 2099 as well. I guess I'm lying, or I'm kind of a hypocrite because I also kind of like Spider-Gwen, so whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The 2099 Spider-Man definitely hits the nostalgia feels. I think that 2099 was what started my love affair, my longtime burning passion for foil covers is really that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought you shiny. Like Doom 99 or 2099.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So get this. DC Comics. You guys are all familiar with DC Comics. Well, check this out. They just announced 4 new series in this week's DC Connect number 17. Blah blah. Let's see. These 2 titles include the long-rumored and long-awaited Batgirls plural ongoing series, the new 6-issue miniseries for World of Krypton, and One Star Squadron, and a new Swamp Thing Black Label book written by Jeff Lemire that looks just beyond badass. Additionally, the preview announced Shadow of the Bat, a 12-week event involving the heroes from throughout Gotham City, as well as new details surrounding Joshua Williamson and Jorge Molina's 4-issue arc on Batman. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming from DC. I was kind of late to the party with Swamp Thing, but I finally got around to reading like Alan Moore Swamp Thing and then some of the other Swamp Thing runs. Swamp Thing is fucking great.
This looks so. I just want this because of the cover.
Look how great that is. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, what's Green Hell? It looks good.
That Swamp Thing show is better than it deserves to be too, because like it's actually really good, but they just didn't. No, they canceled it. They canceled it without resolving it. Isn't that terrible?
They canceled it finishing it too, didn't they? Like,
yeah. The word on the street is that it was too high budget, and they
just like fucking Constantine. I'm still mad about it. I didn't have an ending either to season 1. It's like, way to suck me in. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
They need to pass a constitutional amendment that says that if you start a story, you have to finish it.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Ratify that.
Yeah. That's how J.R. Martin ended up in prison for
the rest of his life.
And by the way, we talked about Brian K. Vaughan earlier. I'm not kidding. You got to finish Saga. I'm on the edge of my seat. So please.
Nice.
Well, I'm all talking. We're waiting on him, right? Like
him and Fiona.
He's a big fan of the show, so he definitely is going to get that.
Yeah, I know. And I'm sorry if I came out swinging, if I came out too aggressively, but
sorry, Bri. We call him Bri.
Yeah. old BKVZ.
Yeah. Hey, I have a spicy question for y'all. So we know how like comic book characters from DC and Marvel, and there's always like, oh, you got it from that character and you borrow from this, and you know, everybody borrows from each other a little bit. But is this like some DC like, hey, Immortal Hulk did good. We should do that.
Yeah,
I'm probably Immortal Hulk
big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. What's up with your DC boys, Danny? No, I'm just
that's not quite the Night Watch level, but
right. No, yeah. I don't know. Look how big he is. If he become he is already kind of like unstoppable with the green and all that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, he's definitely OP. Dope. Did you all know that? So everyone saw the What If episode with the Marvel Zombies. I know Robo wasn't a big fan of all the quips and the jokes and the ha-ha-has.
Right.
But
I liked it.
I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't really love it.
I thought it was fun.
There were definitely some fun parts.
Yeah, sure. No.
I can't sit here and talk shit about it because I really didn't dislike it. I fubbed a little, and I don't usually fub if I'm super into something, but I did do a little bit of like, hey, I'm watching the show. Let me check on my shit.
Did you guys read all the like Kirkman runs of Marvel Zombies? Have you guys all read those? Okay. So
I haven't seen the show, but I have read the Krypton, yeah.
Yeah, so like there are some really fucked up bits in it, right? Like they keep Wolverine strapped to a table because he's constantly regenerating flesh that they can eat. It's fucked.
That's so fucked.
I went into the episode expecting like really fucked up shit like that, and there was like little bits and pieces of that.
Yeah.
But like it was kind of a relief to not have it be that fucked.
Make it fucked.
No.
Make it fucked.
I think like it's a bit more lighthearted than I thought it was going to be, which was kind of a relief.
Yeah.
So
breath of fresh air.
So speaking of Marvel Zombies, Mark Millar, known for, as mentioned before, Civil War, as well as Old Man Logan and Kick-Ass and a bunch of other shit that I think was probably made specifically to be optioned. But whatever. He said, if my sources are correct, this is what he said. This is his quote. If my sources are correct, a little live-action Marvel Zombies will happen further down the line. But you never heard that from me, and that's in a recent newsletter. Ooh. So I guess whoever Mark Millar knows on the inside gave him a little tippy tip that there might be a Marvel Zombies live action. So
And then I guess you don't need to have the original cast for that at all because they'll all look like rotting corpses and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a little head, just making jokes the whole time as your favorite hero.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not against it.
To this, like, were people like super amped for that episode? I'm surprised. Like, yeah, this is happening now.
I give, and this is kind of a hot take, but I just give no fucks about zombies anymore. I'm completely unenthusiastic about the zombie genre.
That's fair. It's pretty oversaturated.
I was you Marvel zombies or DC
zombie.
deceased, which was your preference there?
DC's would be, I think.
Well, DC's is good. I haven't read Marvel Zombies, so I'm not. That wasn't a dig. I really like DC's. I will say I'm not tired of zombies. I like zombies.
Never.
But I like zombies when they're scary. G said it in there. Judah, you said it on our Discord. Like when you have these kind of horror monsters that work because of the situation with the humans are the real monsters and blah blah blah, and the analogies that you kind of like throw in there, that impending doom, like you said, Reed, like a couple times, like when we saw what happened with Vision, we're like, here it go. That's already okay. And then or the impending when you saw the sea of zombies, like, ooh, okay, she's gonna, all right, cool. Which is a sad moment, not a scary moment. I don't know. I just feel like it missed the mark. And then if you don't use those scary bits to make it dark, to make it gruesome, then I'm with you, Jude. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's a common like Hollywood thing where there's a good plot device, like in this case, zombies or maybe xenomorphs or whatever. There's a plot device, and then Hollywood thinks that the plot device is the main event and not the humans that it affects. Like you could take a zombie movie and swap zombies for, I don't know, alien monsters that are attracted to sound. And what the plot device is, it really doesn't matter. If it's new and cool, that's pretty cool. But like, really, the only reason we enjoy those movies is because of like the struggle the humans involved are going through, So I don't know. I feel like
I
don't know. I'm just kind of over like the focus being the zombies or whatever. I think the Walking Dead comic got it right.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. Any of you?
Oh,
hell yeah! I have done that a lot.
Oh no!
Oh, Stan, what city's in? I forget. By the Texas. We'll just call it Texas internet. That's some Texas internet.
Yeah, that is some Texas internet.
Do they have privatized internet too? Where too soon?
Oh, man.
Netflix orders adaptation of Dark Horse Comics series Grendel. Has anybody read this?
I'm pumped for that. Yeah, it's good, man. That's some good shit.
So I know where the Grendel from, but is it a play on that at all, or is it just the name from the Norse mythology?
Tell me the Norse mythology thing.
It's just like this big monster that Beowulf has to fight. Is he like a monster?
I didn't know about that. I will have to look into how that reflects in the comic. Maybe we should do a review on it.
I read a little bit, but I could have sworn that Beowulf was the character that popped in. But it's been a while now, so
Grendel, yeah, I was
maybe okay.
Yeah, I'll have to do a reread and come back to that.
Judah said
I died again. R.I.P.
From beyond. Now we know that there is an afterlife. He's not just a big monster. He has feelings, damn it. I don't know the actual clip. I just know. Remember that badass Beowulf that had Angelina Jolie in it, but it was also died. That's where I know Grendel and Beowulf from. Not like
the
actual
I've seen that too.
Hey. Oh, hey, what's going on, Judah? He's back.
Hey guys, this isn't Judah. This is the other Judah. What were you guys? What did I miss?
We were just talking about how great Grendel was, and everybody was like super like laughing about it, and
yeah, we were having a great time. Probably the best time of the show.
I mean, we're kind of over it now. Like you came at the end, so.
Cool. Yeah, no big deal. I don't have any FOMO about that. Yeah. So anyway, I guess there it is.
I didn't read any of this stuff. So you want to talk about Matt Wagner?
Oh.
And yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Netflix has greenlit Grendel, an all-new series based on the masked vigilante from the popular award-winning, Matt Wagner Dark Horse book. Based on Matt Wagner's groundbreaking comic book series, Grendel follows Hunter Rose, a gifted fencer, writer, and assassin. Seeking to avenge the death of a lost love, he goes to war with New York's criminal underworld, only to realize why beat them when you can join them. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I never read this comic book, but apparently it's pretty popular. So if you are into Grendel, then please, I hope you enjoy this Netflix series. Apparently Danny watches it or reads it. So
boom, Grendel's an assassin and vigilante in the comics.
Boom, boom.
Not
a giant,
not a giant Norse monster with feelings.
I will say I watched the animated Beowulf recently, and it is a tremendously good movie. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't.
Some of that CGI one, right?
Yeah, the CGI one with Anthony Hopkins as Beowulf's father, I guess, and Angelina Jolie. Yeah, that's right, with the tentacles.
David comic that I keep seeing at like bookstores. I'm like, I'm gonna get it one of these days. It's Beowulf. I mean, I want it so bad because David Rubin does killer comics art.
Nice.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, last news item that I prepared. Is it the last? Yeah, last thing that I just kind of gathered because I guess I underestimated or overestimated the time, but whatever. So I kind of mentioned it earlier with the DC titles, but World of Krypton by Robert Venditti, who may have appeared on our show at some point. But anyway, awesome writer, awesome dude. He's doing a modern retelling of the Superman origin story, which I'll be honest, the premise immediately kind of like made me think, nobody needs that. But the publisher, DC, has referred to the Worlds of Krypton as a modern retelling of one of the most storied periods in comics. As most comic book readers now know, Krypton is headed for destruction and the mass extinction of all its citizens. But one man, Jor-El, head of the planet's revered science council, makes it his mission to try to save a world that everyone knows is already doomed. So the reason I'm stoked for that is because I feel like it's more relevant than the idea that the world is about to implode and that nobody believes it. So I feel like it's very prescient and very like relevant to our world. And so I'm kind of interested, especially Robert Venditti is a master writer. So I'm super excited just to see what story comes out of that. But
the only reason why I have any like kind of like I want to read this is literally just because of Robert Venditti. When the show was announced, I probably watched one episode. I have zero fucks to give about Krypton.
I care about as much about Krypton as I do about Martha Wayne's fucking pearls. So
and Pennyworth. Apparently, everybody says it's a good one. I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care either. Pennyworth to me is like I know everybody loves Alfred, and I know that he's like an important character to Batman, but like to me, it's like a story about Pennyworth. You might as well do like a story about the utility belt. You know what I mean?
Right. Or like, you know, we do like a Smallville style show, but it's Superman's parents when they met in high school and all the high school comedy. Yeah. I was like, cool. Cool.
It's called Kent Origins.
Yeah.
What is that called that they did that for Aunt May? What is that called?
No, did they really?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, you don't know about this? Oh, the worst. I cannot think of what it's called.
So it was the whole thing where Aunt May was young and her life that she went through.
Yes, it's
wow.
From what I remember, it's horrendous. It starts Trouble. It's called Trouble. Yes, there we go.
I gotta look this up.
May begins.
Right now. Oh my god.
May begins a little early this year.
On that book. Oh my god.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah. Now it's stuck in my head. I wanted to finish the song.
Oh man. DC has a bad habit of making shows that are about everything in a character's world except the actual character that people want to see.
They're like, what if we just showed like Lois around the grieving of Superman?
Right.
And it's like, What? Why? I just want to see cars being lifted and shit.
Right. Or like, I know this is kind of I know a lot of people liked Gotham. I did not, because I was like,
Gotham was dope. Gotham was dope.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I'm like, why? Batman. Why do I want to?
You know why?
Like,
because what's the point? You even said this. Check this out, though. Check this out. Here's why Gotham is different. What do a lot of people say about the Batman stories? Like, what makes the Batman story so great? Villains.
Yeah,
he has an awesome villain cast, and so Gotham kind of shows you, okay, take Batman out. Who gives a fuck? He's a little kid. This is how the villains kind of all get their stage, and I think that's what makes it really dope. I didn't watch the whole thing. But.
Fair enough. Fair. I'll take it.
Now you got to roll up. You got to click on that top left cover right there. The two ladies with the sunglasses.
It's so bad.
Let's see.
Oh, the sunglasses.
Is this real? No.
Like, wow, yeah, that's totally real. It's Mark Millar too.
Yeah.
What is that? Why is that a thing?
This is a series about Aunt May.
It looks like Paris Hilton and what's her name?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. What's her name?
Nikki. Nicole Richie.
Nicole Richie.
It looks like that.
My brain was like,
why does that exist?
What?
Why not?
Marvel.
Okay, I starting to see the appeal a little bit, a lot of it.
Oh, you like the side part thing?
Yeah, really nice big side part is.
Yeah, I think that's kind of out of style now, though. It's all about the center part.
Bottom left there. That's the other cover, the live action. That in the purple, see the little just a little down from there. The ladies like whispering to that one. Yeah, see, like they
these are real covers.
Yes, they're real.
These look like really bad Lifetime movie like advertisements.
These look like I can make these covers, and I am not good.
This is the pitch.
Image editing software.
It looks like a Lifetime movie called Pregnant and 14.
My life as a look. There is a boardroom out there, right? Somebody I'm assuming this is some early 2000s. Yeah. It was a boardroom, and they stood up, and the person making the shots, they're like, "Tell me what you got." And these came up on a screen somewhere, and there had to been a not small number of that board that are like, "Nice, this is it. This is how we're gonna save Marvel."
I don't typically like photography as the cover of a comic book, but this is like not even good photography. This is like a picture that like anyone would take, just like fucking around with their disposable camera.
What's going to happen after this, right? Someone's going to be like, why don't you fucking recreate it and see how easy it is? And we'll have to do like one of Judah's face forward and one of Robo's face to the side like this, like a fucking ABBA pose. Yeah, like that. Perfect. I'll just screen grab that after we're done.
I'm so glad I
merge them together.
I'm just gonna talk a little bit of shit about Mark Millar.
Wait. What was Doug gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so glad I remember the name of this book.
Yeah.
This is definitely the second most interesting thing we've talked about on this episode.
Definitely.
Yeah. The first one being you guys' book. So.
Duh.
Yes.
Make that clear. Yeah.
Hey, this guy, he gets it.
All right, so go ahead. We're just gonna go ahead and leave that up there. What were we saying?
Oh, I was gonna talk just like some slight shit about. So like there's some things that Mark Millar's written that I really love. Like I'll always love Old Man Logan. I'll always love Civil War, but it's just like some of the shit he's done in the last 5 to 10 years is just like. Create some IP that can get optioned, and he's like, okay, what's the bare minimum that I have to do? 4 issues, okay, sure. And like, he's just an IP. He's a living IP farm now.
I don't think he's even typing. He just has this like hat that's filled with keywords like titties, latex, guns.
What was that? Like... I didn't read the comic book, but I saw like the first episode of that new show. What's it called? What's that show? Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched all that.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I'll never finish this.
they did not do that comic justice, but fortunately, a lot of his comics are, at least in that era, were like edgy for edgy's sake. So there was some hard stuff like Nemesis. Oh my gosh, the daughter's like impregnated by the course. I don't remember. It was something like.
Is it at the Garth Ennis Crossed level of just like obscene or?
Yeah, pretty much. It's
okay.
So sometimes I do things.
It's Joker with.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just explaining what I thought the book was supposed to be, but it's awful.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Yeah. Sometimes I make scenarios just to make myself laugh, and all I imagine is like somebody coming into the show and being like, "Oh, let's see what this live show's about," and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
She's like, "I'm smelling your nose. I'm smelling the thing you use to smell. Isn't that trippy?"
What are Macaulay Culkin and Paris Hilton doing?
That is.
Yeah.
I can't unsee it now. Shit.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank
He's
you.
in the new American Horror Story.
No
This
shit.
season. Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
No way.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. He's great. He's great.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Since we're totally off the rails, I actually had a dream the other night about what I thought would be a really good sequel to Home Alone 2.
Oh, what's that? Home
So
Alone
check
3?
it out. No, well, yeah, actually. So
Really?
the Home Alones that don't have Macaulay Culkin, they didn't happen in this universe, but Home Alone 3. So check it out. Macaulay Culkin's character, what was his name? Fucking Kevin. Yeah. So Kevin, he's grown up and things just didn't really go his way, and he's kind of like living on the street. He lives at like a shelter basically, and that's like his life. He's kind of stays at the shelter. He just is kind of struggling to get back on his feet, but he's made friends with all the other people that live at the shelter. And anyway, one day, the Sticky Bandits, who now work for the mafia, they want to burn the shelter down for the insurance money. So they go to the shelter basically to like kind of clear it out so they can burn it down. And well, I guess they didn't really count on Kevin back to all of his old tricks. And yeah, it's like his return to form as the prankster from Home Alone. So I don't know. That's it.
And what if this time, instead of accidentally putting aftershave on his face, he accidentally does meth? And
It's like,
well, grown up Kevin takes it up a notch, and he's like killing these dudes.
yeah, there you go. That's what I was like. I'm like,
I'm waiting for the dark and gritty
Home
Home
Alone,
Alone universe.
Yeah, dark and gritty.
dark and gritty. G is so strange. They want everything to be dark and gritty. G is a huge fan of dark and gritty, so they would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The inside joke is they don't. So, that's the joke.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, that's
right.
the show. Hey, before you wrap it up,
Always
check
right.
out. Always, well, not always, but sometimes. Check out Savage Wizard. We have 2 of the 3 creators here, and this is a cool looking comic book. You can go back, watch the beginning of the episode, and see like all the questions we had about it, and look at some of the art. But this is just a cool ass comic book. I definitely am gonna want a copy of this, and I think anyone. I don't see how you could look at this and not want to back this project. So definitely check it out.
Dope.
yeah, like, do you even like comics? If you're not going to buy this, come on,
Thank you. That's how we feel.
come on, just buy it. Just buy the comic.
Just buy it.
You're gonna have a good time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show. Thank you, Leslie, Doug, for coming on and staying up late with us.
Thank you for having
Appreciate you also for having us. This was really fun.
Absolutely, yeah. And then if you guys want to come out after this releases and we get the actual books out there, we would love to have you back on so we can talk about it some more. Yeah, definitely. Everybody out there, shit's still going on. Go get vaccinated and don't take any horse deworming pills.
Did I say thank you for the cake already on the live? Thank you for the cake, everybody.
Happy
Thanks for the
birthday,
cake.
G. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to everyone because it was super nice. It rocked up today and it was really, really nice gift. So thank you for the cake.
I do want to say this live because I feel like everybody, especially G, would be like too nice to say this. That was G's idea.
Woo! Thank you, G.
They orchestrated that whole thing. Judah did the ordering. We all pitched in. It's all a thing. But G is the architect.
Oh, G, that's super nice. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, G.
I think G also voted for Ferrara Rochelle. So very good taste.
Nice. That was a good choice. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? If you want to hear interviews from industry pros, get first looks, and have access to endless comic content, wake up. Please wake up. You're in a coma. Your mother misses you.